defiance here. Defiance.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone. It is gone. It is Bedlam at the bank.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with KJ McCoy, Ballpark Tommy, Dalt, and Fratty. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today. Let's take it to the show.
Listen, man, when you get one hit, no runs to the Marlins, yeah, you're not in a great spot. Walking into batters, walking into runs, yeah, that's not great, Chief. Phillies lose it 4-0, and that 4-game win streak comes to a close. Jess, I'll be taking you through a pretty quick Phillies post-game show, but before we get into this, go comment, like, and subscribe for the best Phillies sports content. The Biz will be bringing you a Sixers and Flyers post-game show later on tonight. Playoff games, so they should be a good one. But it's just me again, so I'll be taking you through it. Again, first loss in the Donnie baseball era, which really sucks. But regardless, we carry on. First off, we got to talk about Andrew Painter. It was a rough game for the guy. Obviously, the two walks in the third really hurt him, and then Xavier Edwards later on hitting that home run. Not the greatest thing in the world, and then Max Meyer going 7 innings, 7 strikeouts. Not again fantastic in the slightest. Painter's line tonight, again, wasn't the best thing in the world. We'll get you that in just a quick second. But I think it's growing pains. I think at the same time, I think that Andrew Painter will be fine. He still had a great start his first time, right? So I think he'll be fine. But today he went 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs. But he also had 7 strikeouts. So we take that any day of the week. Now what we don't take is Tanner Banks coming in, pitching an inning, allowing an earned run, and this stat coming from the good fight. Tanner Banks has allowed an earned run. Tanner Banks has allowed a run in 5 out of 13 appearances. That's not good, Chief. And unfortunately, he let up another run today on a ball that admittedly was stupid. I can't believe they actually got a run out of it. But again, this is how the Marlins play. They play small ball, but they play choppy, and it is what it is. The Marlins, they've always played it tough, and it is what it is, and that's kind of what happens. But not great though when your guy in Kyle Schwarber has 8 strikeouts. In the last couple of games, he's a guy that you look for to hit 50 bombs, right? Which is great. He leads he's around the top of the league in walks, which is awesome. But at the same time, the strikeouts are going to bite you at times. And right now, Kyle Schwarber is in a little bit of a funk. Now, that brings up, Billy brought it up in the last postgame show and the postgame show before this. So go check those out. But he brought up the discussion that, hey, listen, do you keep Trey Turner in the leadoff spot or do you put Kyle Schwarber in it? And for a lot of this time, I've been pro putting Schwarber in the leadoff spot. It's a guy that, in baseball, there's a big thought about momentum and momentum swings. And when you have a guy that can hit 55 home runs, in a season and put you up 1-0 early, it's a great thing. So, unfortunately, the cons come with today, where he goes 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. He's hitting .210 on the year, and it's not going to get it done. And that doesn't help things when Bryce Harper comes up and there's nobody on base. Harper today went 0 for 3, with 2 strikeouts. So doesn't really help things there. And then, just the rest of the lineup didn't do much damage either. The one guy that I thought was not going to do damage actually did. He had the one hit coming out of today. Only one hit, and that came from Garrett Stubbs. And I mean, it's early, but he is hitting .273 on the year. I don't think that's gonna last very long, but again, I mean, it helps. It helps. Now everybody's gonna be screaming, "Oh my God, put him in left field! Put Garrett Stubbs in left field!" And that's gonna make me want to jump off a bridge. But not great. But as Dalt says, by Tanner Banks at all, and the first loss in the Donnie baseball era. Now the Phillies go into the third game of the series against the Miami Marlins. It's actually a nice start. It's I think a 1:00 start, which is great, especially after the set of later games going into that West Coast trip a while back. It really sucked, but it should be a good one. I'm again sort of stalling to find that the probable starters and all that jazz, but Phillies look to get the series back under our control, and they have a former Marlin, Jesus Luzardo, under the rubber, on the mound for the Phillies today, going up against Chris Paddock, who I'm a little surprised is still in the league, but Luzardo, I believe he had a little bit of a bounce back start his last go around. Same with Christopher Sanchez. So, I mean, I think that the Phillies are in good hands. It's time for this offense to show what it's made of, and this is a good test for Don Mattingly. I think he's going to pass this test for sure. I was just talking about with Dalt on Sippin' Sports this morning that I really like Don Mattingly. I really do. He's a proven manager. He knows how to work the locker room, and I think that he's going to get things. I think he's going to get things done. Todd coming in. What's up, Jess? Sixers 111. Sixers 111. Celtics 105. Quentin Grimes hit it's a big 3. Listen, man, we'll we will see you, Todd, on the Sixers postgame show. For now, we're talking Phils, but just again, reminder, we will be having a Sixers postgame show for Game 7 tonight, and it should be a good one. It should be a fantastic one. But again, we're talking about the Phillies. Because otherwise, this lineup was not great. But again, we saw them put out 6 runs. Appreciate that, Todd. But the other day, the Phillies, they put up 6 runs. They put up 7 the other night. So I have full trust in the Phillies lineup to do down to kick butt here. Chris Paddock comes in with a 6.11 ERA, so not good in the slightest. Now everybody's like, oh, this Meyer guy that we were facing, oh, he's an NPC. The Phillies can't hit pitchers that they can't hit no name pitchers, but I wouldn't say the Mayer was a no name. I honestly like this Marlins squad. I do. Our team put up a prediction on a season prediction, a standings prediction. Going to the year, I swear everybody put the Marlins in fifth, and I don't get it. I really don't. The Marlins have a good foundation. They have an up and coming squad. They are great when their opportunities present themselves, and they're clutch. They play tight. They play fundamental baseball, and I mean they have a catcher that hits over 300. Like that's just enough in laying picks. Yeah, they're no names, but that probably just means that you're not a ball knower. I'm sorry, but that is just the God's honest truth. Christopher Morel, their left fielder, he's been in the league for forever. Kyle Stowers, dude, he was in the home run derby last year, or I mean close to it. I mean. That guy hits bombs like it's no tomorrow. This Marlins squad has some ballers, and I'm not exactly surprised that they beat us today. They've had our side. They've had a thorn. They've been a thorn in our side forever, and it's one of those games. There's still 100 and something games left. And I know people hate to hear that, but the Phillies are in a much better position than I think they were. I don't want to say while Rob Thompson was the manager, because I still think that there's issues here, that have not been addressed, like, Dombrowski being an idiot, Kevin Long, even our bullpen at times. Was a problem. But I will say Andrew Painter will not be a problem. I think that he's going to, like, the lower third says is, I think this is just growing pains. I think he'll be fine. And you're gonna get what's his name? Duran. You're gonna get, sorry, brain fart, long day. You're gonna get Duran back in a few days, and that's going to help out a ton. You're not going to be relying on Jose Alvarado as much. You're not going to be relying on Tanner Banks as much, although I really had high hopes on Tanner Banks, if I'm being completely honest with y'all. I really thought that he was going to be one of the lefties that really stood out and stood tall, stood firm. Especially with the loss of Matt Strahm. I know Chaos Chris is really mad at Dombrowski for losing Matt Strahm, but I thought that he needed to go. I really don't think he's having that good of a year out in Kansas City. I'll double check that. But I really like what Jonathan Bolin brings to the table for the Phillies. He's on a longer contract. His analytical stuff is off the charts, and he was able to, he was able to get out of there last night, relatively unscathed. So I think that, he's a guy that is going to be in this bullpen for a while. Caleb Compton, we know how good he is. And, I think that he's going to right the ship. But in 2026, he's having about a 4 ERA, 3.86 ERA in 12 games in 11 innings pitched, with a 1.37 whip, 14 strikeouts. So, not that big of a sample size. So, honestly, yeah, I don't know what to make of it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Should we have kept Matt Strahm? Do you trust Jonathan Bolin? Do you trust his Phillies offense to get back in shape? Because I do. I think this offense, with the power, the star power they have, it is bound to happen. And then we'll see what happens in October. But before then, got to get through the regular season. Got to get through tonight. Segue. Again, 302 Birds, we're hosting a Sixers and a Flyers post-game show, which I'll be on for and having a blast. So, want to thank you all for watching. Gonna get ready for that game. Starts in about 10 minutes, so I gotta get ready. Get my Sixers stuff on, and we will see you on the other side. So go like, comment, and subscribe for all the best Philadelphia sports content. Go subscribe to 302 Birds on YouTube. Go follow 302 Birds on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all the jazz. And go follow Philly Sports Pulse as well. That's the account of that I run, and I closely coordinate with 302 Birds, and we have a blast over there. But we'll see you guys for the Sixers postgame show later on. Have a good one, and let's go Philly.
The Vikings.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's good. And it's gone. It is Bedlam at the bank.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with KJ McCoy, Ballpark Tommy, Dalt, and Fratty. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today.